Ladies and gentlemen, the play's the thing, with your host, Judy Sleed. Special guest, Charlotte Sasso, owner of Stuarts Seafood Market. Now here's Judy.
Hello, everybody, to the Play's the Thing. And I have a wonderful play. We're going to play with food today.
Play with your food.
And I have Charlotte, whom sometimes I call Shari, a wonderful young lady who's going to cook us a delicious meal with fish, which is one of my favorite foods. So, Charlotte, we are out here in the Hamptons. And you have a wonderful fish store, fish market? No, it's not a market.
It is a market. It's a fish shop and gourmet market, but our main thing is fish. And I'm going to try to take some of the mystery out of fish for people today. Some people are very scared to cook fish, and I'm going to show you it's very easy, it's very healthy, especially this time of year. Everyone is, trying to lose a few pounds that they might have gained over the holidays, and fish is a great way to do it. So today we're going to cook a few things. We're going to start off with some cod, and I have my baking sheet here. I just want to get this in the oven, and then a little later we're going to make a tomato olive relish to go with it. So very simply, we just take our cod, and we're going to smear it in this olive oil here. And if you don't want to use that much oil, you can use pan spray instead. Grab this here, and I'm just going to season it with a little salt here.
Is that sea salt?
This is, yes, sea salt. And you can use kosher salt as well. And some pepper. Okay. And I'm going to put a little bit of whole wheat breadcrumbs on top. These are seasoned breadcrumbs. Okay, and then this is just going to go in the oven, and we'll get that later. I've preheated my oven.
And that was real easy. Even I can do it.
You can do that. Anybody can do it. So while that's cooking, we're going to get started on our next dish. We have a beautiful piece of monkfish here. Have you seen monk before?
Maybe I did. Yeah. I just didn't know I saw it.
Some people call it the poor man's lobster because it has this wonderful texture that when you cut it into pieces and you put it in a stew like a bouillabaisse or something, it can mimic the texture of lobster. And it takes on the flavors of whatever it's cooked with. When you get it at the market, we clean it really, really well. Once in a while, you'll see like a tiny little piece of this membrane on, so if there's a little bit of that left, just don't worry and pull that right off. Okay? So we're going to turn on our stove here, and I'm going to slice these monkfish pieces into medallions. So you have
medallions.
Those nice
that's a fancy word.
Oh yes, like you would veal. So this is a dish that I just love because you can make it on a weeknight because it's so easy, but when it's finished, it's fancy enough to serve to company. So it's really nice.
Monkfish.
So we take our medallions, and I have some flour here. And we're going to season our flour again with our salt and pepper. I have some kosher salt here. Put in some salt, and we take our pepper, and just
wow, that's a lot of pepper.
Not really, it's a lot of fish. So, and just for you, Judy, for our shared background, our heritage, a little Hungarian paprika, which never hurts.
No.
This is why we both look so young. So we're going to mix that up. I'm going to add some more oil to the some oil to the pan. Okay. And we swirl
what kind
that
of
around.
oil are you
This
using?
is olive oil.
Olive oil.
Extra virgin olive oil. And but if you prefer, you could use grapeseed oil. For this dish, I like the flavor of the olive oil. I'm not really using a neutral oil. So we're going to flour these and then put them in the pan. So you're with me so far, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Now,
What
if you,
I would do, I would just dump all the pieces in there
right,
instead of
well,
individually.
you can do it, but you can also flatten these out if you like and make them very thin, sort of pound them as you would veal or chicken. But for today, we're just doing them in these little pieces here.
See, I already learned a lot.
You did.
Yes, this monkfish, what you do
Yeah.
with it, it's
And it's a wonderful local fish. It's reasonably inexpensive. It goes a long way. You know, it's a very dense source of protein, so it's really terrific. And it's a nice mild flavor. So for people who say that they don't like fishy fish, this won't disturb them. It's not fishy at all. Okay, so while that's cooking,
yes.
to begin our sauce, we have some leeks. And if you didn't want to use leek, you could use onion, but I happen to love the flavor of leeks. There we go, runaway leek.
Yeah.
And we're going to slice these. Get rid of that. The one thing about leeks is you have to make sure that you wash them very well because they tend to be a little bit dirty. So we're going to slice
I noticed
these.
you washed them before.
Yes, I rinsed them off before, but now I'm going to wash them even more.
Oh, you are?
Yes.
So you washed them after you cut them?
Yes, because you know why? Sometimes there's dirt inside. So we get them really well cleaned.
So far, it is just wonderful. The monkfish,
How does
Which
it
I-
smell?
I don't smell any
It smells
any fish.
really good. So let's see how these are doing.
And
So
that's
we're
one
just
of the reasons I
browning
don't make
these.
fishes because it's always smelled.
No. We're going to flip these over now. And we're just browning these because then they're going to cook in our sauce a little bit later.
Do you cook at home also?
I cook all the time. My doors are always open. I love to entertain. I have a lot of company.
Really?
So-
Well, you have to give me your address,
Okay.
so I'll come over.
And, you know, we have, my husband Bruce and I have an almost 7-year-old son, Dante.
Yes.
These are just some garlic cloves here. And he's always got his friends over, so
Now I
it's
learned
nice.
another thing with this garlic because I used to use a garlic press, but I don't anymore. So I see that you just
I
press
just smash
it down.
Yeah. You know
And-
what?
Yeah.
I don't like garlic presses because I find them very difficult to wash. They always have those little things stuck in them, so
Yes.
I think it's just as fast to use a knife.
I like what you do with it.
Right.
So I just learned something.
Okay,
Wow.
so that's it.
They,
so
and
now-
they say you can't teach an old horse how new things.
So we're going to take our fish out now,
Yes.
and see how quickly that cooks?
Right, it did very quickly.
That's why I say
Did you have it on high?
I had it on a relatively high heat. I'm not as used to using an electric stove like this. At home I have gas, which is more responsive immediately to the touch, but you know, if you're used to an electric stove, then it's fine. Okay. Also, you
Yes.
could use a non-stick pan. We didn't have one here at the studio, but it works fine just the same. So we add a little bit more oil to our pan.
A little more
A
oil.
little more oil, because remember, olive oil is a very healthy fat.
Uh-huh.
It's very good for your heart. And now we're going to saute our leeks.
And you didn't have to dry it. You just,
No, the little bit of moisture there is fine.
yeah.
And we pick up our garlic, and we're going to saute
Super.
that. We're we're going to put that a little lower because we want them not to burn. We just want them to cook gently.
Yeah, that's a good thing not to burn it.
Right.
What is the secret of not burning?
Being very vigilant. Not talking on the phone while you're cooking, getting distracted. But we'll let those cook. Now, we have another ingredient for our sauce, which I absolutely love. These are artichoke hearts. So you can use either the frozen or the canned. Or if you really want to, you know, go through a lot of effort, you can get fresh artichokes. But then you have to cook those separately first. And I find these work fantastically for this dish.
Oh,
They're
I see. And you
convenience.
drain it.
Yes, we drain them and we just give them a little rinse because there's a little salt, you know, in the can.
Very interesting things you're doing, which I never would have thought of.
Yeah. This, I got inspired to make this dish by Lydia, who's one of my favorite TV chefs. She just does, you know, wonderful, wonderful dishes. And I tend to like Mediterranean style cooking. I love the olive oil, the olives, all these ingredients. So.
The Mediterranean.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
You know, Italy, Greece, the Mediterranean. You know where that is. You're a European.
Well,
so
yeah, but you didn't mention Hungarian.
Yeah, and I know Hungary is a landlocked country, so they.
We weren't always landlocked.
No, I know. My dad tells me as well. But anyway, we're lucky here not to be landlocked.
That's for sure.
Yes. So. Wipe up here.
And you
like
are also
clean up
very
as I go.
neat. Wow. Yeah, because some cooks make such a big mess.
I do it in my house, believe me. But I have my husband to help clean up after
I
me.
was just going to ask you that.
So we're going to let these cook a little bit more.
Then what about the fish in the oven?
That has a while to go yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I just thought I'd ask.
Yeah. Okay, so that's going to cook. And our next ingredient for this, this part of the dish, we're going to add some verjus, or you could use white wine, or you could use fish stock, you could use chicken stock. So my type of cooking isn't super fussy. You know, I like to improvise with what I have at home, what my guests might like, what I'm in the mood for that day. I think recipes are a jumping off point. I like to read recipe books as I do as I do a novel. And I try to learn from them, and then I incorporate what I've learned into my own personal style of cooking.
Yeah, I like that. I like to do that. I like to improvise myself.
So we're going
that's wine or?
This is verjus. This is from Wolfer Vineyards. It's a local, as you know, a local vineyard. And it's the unfermented juice of the grapes. So it doesn't have any alcohol in it.
Is that right? I never knew that existed.
Oh, yeah, it's wonderful.
What kind of a cook am I?
You're learning. So we're going to turn up the heat a little bit on this to let this simmer. And you can use quite a bit of liquid there. I'd say at least a cup or so, a half a cup to a cup. I'm going to turn that up and let that
And what kind of
simmer.
taste is that?
Like a white wine, but a little, it's very refreshing. Some people use it with seltzer as a, as a little aperitif, but it's non-alcoholic, and it's a
Okay, when
great
I come
ingredient.
for dinner, you're going to serve that.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
So this is going to, I want to let that cook a little more, but while that's cooking, I'm going to start our tomato relish for the cod. So we're going to start with a few tomatoes.
Beautiful tomatoes.
For this time of year, yeah, they're not bad. It's,
Where do they come from?
These are the vine-grown tomatoes. They're hot houses in Holland, Mexico, Canada, believe it or not. Different places grow tomatoes.
Where do you get your vegetables?
I have a really wonderful produce purveyor, and he's a Turkish gentleman, and he goes into the Hunts Point market for me. and gets me things. And then during the season, I also have a lot of produce from the local organic farms.
Yes.
We get from Balsam Farms, from Quail Hill, from some wonderful places in Bridgehampton when it's corn time. So
You know
we
what
do
I
all
noticed with the tomato that, when was that, like 2 weeks ago, I got a fresh tomato. What I mean fresh, it's
Right.
like yours. And I cut it up and it lasted in the refrigerator
I
almost 2 weeks.
I know, it's
Whereas
those are modern tomatoes. And here's a shallot. We're going to add a shallot
Those are
here.
modern tomatoes?
Modern tomatoes. I don't know how they do it, but there's nothing like our own August tomatoes here on the East End. But in the winter, you know, you make do with what you have, what else you have. So we have a shallot.
Which is like an onion, but it isn't.
Right. It has a little more delicate flavor, not quite as harsh as an onion. So we're going to mince this up. And
So what you were saying, that tomato I had was not fresh? Or
no, it was fresh, just it's amazing how long they can last.
Because when I buy things in the supermarket, in 2-3 days it goes bad if I
Really?
don't use it.
I guess
Well,
sometimes
maybe
it
4
depends.
days.
Depends how you store it. Tomatoes shouldn't be refrigerated, you know. They're best at room temperature.
I didn't know that.
Yes. So we're taking my shallot here.
Boy, I have to make notes, all these new things I'm learning.
And then these are some pitted Kalamata olives. So these are Greek olives that have already been pitted, which is a wonderful time saver.
Yeah, I like the flavor of olives.
Oh, I do too. I love
Yes.
olives. I love everything briny. And it's a nice complement to the fish. And then these are some, you know, martini olives, the manzanilla olives, Spanish olives. They have the little pimento in them, so they're yummy. Would you like one? A little snack?
Oh,
Okay. So I'm going to just roughly mince these. I'm just keeping an eye on my sauce here. And chop these. So I like to do this a lot with fish, is make a condiment to dress a very simply done fish. You know, in the summer, instead of baking the cod, you could do it on the barbecue, you know, in some foil. Or you could do this same relish with tuna steak, swordfish, salmon, halibut, mahi-mahi, anything that you put on the grill. And then again with the relish, you can vary the ingredients. You can change the flavors around. Okay. And I'm just going to do a little bit of yellow pepper for color. I already washed this one before we started. And sometimes I use roasted peppers in this dish. But
these are all the things that I like.
yeah, and it's nice to have something colorful alongside, you know, the white fish.
Yes,
So.
it makes it more appetizing when
Exactly.
you see all these
Okay,
colors.
so now this is cooking nicely. We'll take a break from our relish here, and we're going to add some tomato paste.
Tomato
Yeah,
paste.
this is a fabulous product because the tomato paste is in a tube. Because most recipes that call for tomato paste, you don't need a whole can. You just need, you know, a
little-
tablespoon. So
Yeah.
this way, oh, we have to open that up. This way, you have it, and then you just put the rest in your fridge. So I'm adding a couple of tablespoons there
For color.
for flavor, color, and we're going to swirl this around.
It's like tomato paste.
It is tomato paste. It's just conveniently in a tube.
Yes.
So that the rest of it doesn't go to waste. So this now gave our leeks and our artichokes a gorgeous color.
It is.
So we've got them color. And I'm going to add a little more verjus because I probably let that cook down a little bit. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to put our fish with all the juices right back into,
The plate.
Our
Oh, that
plate.
looks scrumptious.
okay. And we're going to let that cook. So that's doing nicely. We'll take a look at our cod and see how it's doing. So you just want it till it just barely flakes apart, and I think we will shut this off. If I can find it. Oh, off. There we go. So we're going to shut that off.
I heard you say that, opat, that's Hungarian.
Oh, I used to speak it, but I forgot most of it.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so we're going to take our cod out.
Uh-huh.
And we'll plate this up in a few minutes when we finish our relish. So, yeah, we're very lucky here that even in the winter time, we have a great variety of fish to choose from. You know,
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Yeah,
You
right.
go fishing too?
I fish just for fun, not professionally. So just in the shop right now, we have gray sole, we have flounder, we have fluke, we have the cod. We still get sword and tuna, but from down south. This is Italian parsley, and you could also throw basil in here. You could do cilantro if you prefer. Whatever fresh herbs you
Whatever
like.
suits your fancy.
That's it.
So people go, fishermen, they go fishing in this cold
They're
weather?
very intrepid, yeah. I just had a clammer before I came to the shop. One of our clammers came in with some beautiful fresh little necks and cherry stone clams. And he said, it is cold out there. I mean, you have to give these guys and gals a lot of credit for what they do, because it's a tough life, and they work really hard.
Yeah.
So-
Where do you, is that your knife?
This is your knife.
My knife?
LTV has a lovely kitchen here. It's a pleasure to work here.
Oh,
But
good.
a good knife is one of the most important tools that you can have in your kitchen. You don't need a fancy kitchen. You just need
A
good
good
knife and love and respect for your food. Okay, so we add in our parsley. And see, this is really coming together.
You're getting me inspired.
Okay. So we're going to add salt and pepper here. I think I'll use some of this nice sea salt. You don't need too much salt because of the olives.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And then pepper.
What happens, did you ever oversalt something?
I have. You can add lemon juice, and that'll sort of ameliorate the salt taste. Yeah. But I don't use that much salt, truthfully. I try to be pretty health conscious about most things. I'll splurge here and there when it's worthwhile. This is a little bit of balsamic vinegar.
Uh-huh, yes.
Just a little bit. And then some more olive oil to kind of bring everything together. So, there we go. And this is ready for a little taste. I need a spoon here. A small spoon. There we go. And our fish is just about done. So you just want to taste this for seasoning. Very good.
Yummy.
Very good. I'm going to add a tiny bit more vinegar because I like a little kick to it. A little more vinegar. And then I'm going to take this. I'm going to shut off this fish now. And we'll show you what this looks like. So again, here we have our simply prepared fish.
Mm-hmm.
And then we can put this beautiful dressing, this nice olive relish, on top of it.
And that looks so scrumptious.
Absolutely.
Even people who are not hungry would love to eat that.
Yeah, this is a treat. And look how quickly we prepared this.
Yes,
You know?
I was really very good at it.
You were very good at it. Now,
Yeah, this
and our
is
monkfish
really...
dish here looks
Yeah,
like
you
it's
want
coming
this?
together. Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at this. This is just... Wonderful.
So here, I mean, this is so beautiful. So you can serve this monkfish over with rice pilaf. You could serve it over some noodles if you liked. There are so many other wonderful grains that I love to make now, like farro, which is an Italian grain, frigola, which is an Italian sort of couscous pasta, a very coarse-grained pasta. So we're going to take this here, and then we'll have to get you a fork, right, Judy? And you'll have some of this after you, and the crew will have a nice lunch.
This is
Oh,
really...
I almost forgot. Silly me. We garnish this dish with some capers. Speaking of briny
God forbid
things,
if you didn't have capers on it.
I know.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so we're putting in some capers. Let me just dump these here. There we go. Okay. Yeah, the capers really add. And there we go. That's it. Now,
I'm speechless. I'm actually speechless.
some fresh parsley.
And fresh parsley on top.
Okay. So we'll spoon the rest of this out.
And it took very little effort.
Very little effort. I'm there till 3 almost every day because then I pick up my little guy from school.
Yes, your little guy is so cute.
He is the cutest.
Dante. His name is Dante.
And he loves fish as well.
And he's going to be a cook like you?
He does love to help me cook.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
this was such a wonderful experience, and I'm so glad you were able to come and share your secrets with us.
Oh, they're not secrets. I'll share them with anybody. I'm happy to spread the word of people eating great fish.
Yes, it is. And I really, really learned an awful lot. And nothing smells like fish. It just smells of the beautiful aroma of seasoning, and this is just wonderful.
Yes. Now you just need a nice glass of white wine and...
Yes. You didn't bring that.
Beautiful. I didn't bring that. That's one thing we do not sell.
Okay, well, this is just wonderful. Thank you, Shadi cook.
Thank you, Judy. Thanks for having me. It was a real pleasure.
Our love will last for all.